Here with the Shimano Core 101 MG. This is one of Shimano's flagship reels. I was finally able to get my hands on one of these things, and got a little review for you. I'm just going to point out some of the stuff that I like about it. We'll start off with something simple here. This spool tension knob right here, it's just a little bit bigger than I guess the average baitcaster, which is just it's a little tiny feature that I like. Just something I think is neat. One thing about the core, it comes in size 100 or size 50. This is a size 100. It's just a little bit smaller than the average baitcaster, which is something I like. One thing about Shimano, it's very easy to palm, nice and comfortable to fish with. The grips on it here, they're the same size as a Sitka. They're a little bit smaller than a Chronarch, but the way that they feel, they're a little softer than a Sitka. That is more similar to a Chronarch. The core comes in a 6:2-to-1 gear ratio, which works out good for me. I'll be throwing mostly small crankbaits with it. I've got a jig on it now, but that's really just for tossing around, just you know, messing around. It doesn't even have a trailer on it, but I'll be throwing mostly crankbaits with it. So let's get to one of the big features on it. If you look at the side of it, you'll notice it's completely smooth. You know, normally with Shimano, you've got a little hatch that'll pop open. You'll turn it, and the side plate pops off. But with the core, they have what they call the escape hatch. So if you look at the back of the reel, I'll scoot up here, there's a little tiny lever right there. And what you do, you flip that, and this pops open. That's your brake adjustment, and you'll notice it's got this bar across it. That's a new feature, and what that does is that's locking that spool into place, keeping it from moving. It's just another feature. One thing that's cool about this reel, you notice the color of it. It's kind of this dark gray, dark silver color with the red accent, and they've added that in there on the spool. The brakes, it comes with 2 of the brakes off, and usually I fish Shimano's with 3 off, but after reading some reviews, they said it basically casts so far and casts so well to use 1 less brake. So I listened, and they were right. This thing will cast a mile, so definitely a great casting reel. So you flip that back on there. You'll notice I got it on a 13 fishing omen rod, and a lot of people might be wondering, you know, you got kind of an expensive reel on a not so expensive rod, but the 13 fishing rods are pretty high quality for the price. This one, the reason it's on here, it has the perfect amount of bend, the perfect amount of action for a 6'7" rod, and I found that it worked well for small crankbaits and stuff like that. It's got a split grip, but it's a little bit shorter split grip than your average rod of this length. And what that gives you, it gives you a little more rod to work with, while still having the overall rod be short. Back to the reel. The drag on this reel, probably the smoothest drag that I've used on any reel. Very high performing reel, and I would highly recommend anyone looking to get one to pick it up from Tackle Warehouse. They usually throw in a free t-shirt or something like that for any big orders, throw it in for free shipping. But that's pretty much it. Good luck fishing. Get yourself a Shimano core.